Iceland to end whaling in 2024 as demand dwindles.
Here's a summary of the article.
Iceland, one of the only countries that still hunts whales commercially, along with Norway and Japan, plans to end whaling from 2024 as demand dwindles, the fisheries minister has said. There are few justifications to authorize the whale hunt beyond 2024, when current quotas expire, Svandís Svavarsdóttir, a member of the Left Green Party, wrote in Morgunblaðið newspaper. Iceland's annual quotas for 2019 to 23 allow for the hunting of 209 fin whales, the planet's second largest species after the blue whale, and 217 minke whales, one of the smallest species. For the past 3 years, the two main license holders have suspended their whale hunts, and one of them hung up its harpoons for good in 2020. Only one whale has been killed in the past 3 years, a minke whale in 2021. Demand for Icelandic whale meat has decreased dramatically since Japan, the main market for whale meat, returned to commercial whaling in 2019 after withdrawing from the International Whaling Commission. The hunt had also become too expensive after a no-fishing coastal zone was extended, requiring whalers to go even farther offshore. In Iceland's last full season in 2018, 146 fin whales and 6 minke whales were killed. Iceland resumed commercial whaling in 2006 despite a 1986 IWC moratorium, which it had opposed.
This post received a score of 29,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
So it's just that Japan now supplies it. Was uplifting, now is saddening.
Not sure if you can just whitewash Norway's atrocious whaling history like that. Just recently in 2017 they killed more whales than the rest of the whaling nations combined. Almost all pregnant whales too.
Damn kids and their fickle Western tastes, the dancing whale blubber shack. What am I gonna do with all these blubber nuggets? Hey, they're chewy.
Out of curiosity, I did a Google search, what does whale meat taste like, out of pure curiosity. Found this. So if it basically tastes like beef, why not just eat that? Instead of eating meat that comes from a critically endangered species.
Probably because historically it's been much more difficult to find cows in Iceland than whales in the water. Not saying that makes it right, but if you want to know why, that's why. E2a. Minkies aren't critically endangered.
Minke's whales are actually overpopulated in some places and compete for the same food as endangered species, so whaling may ironically be the best way to preserve endangered species. Unfortunately, there is no guaranteed humane way of hunting whales, so I still don't support it.
Greater than unfortunately there is no guaranteed humane way of hunting whales, so I still don't support it. I often ask this question when I see stuff like this posted. Do you eat meat that is sourced from factory farms? I hope the answer is no, as factory farms and feedlots can be and often are just as cruel as hunting whales but in massive numbers.
That depends on what country you live in, mate. I assume you're American because you assumed I'm American. Here in Australia the meat industry is very strict on animal welfare, also animals must be stunned and unconscious so feel no pain when killed. Compare that to a whale hit with an exploding tip harpoon that sometimes causes instant death, but other times takes minutes for the animal to bleed out in agony. Instantly dying with no suffering vs slowly bleeding to death from a huge wound. Those two things are ethically different, even if you disagree with both of them.
Greater than I assume you're American because you assumed I'm American. You assumed correctly that I, an American, assumed you were also an American. Making assumptions is an integral part of our culture. My issue has always been how the animals are raised and killed, rather than the factory farm aspect itself. Raised in a decent environment and painlessly killed is certainly much better than exploding harpoons. Given that comparison, I think you're in the right and I withdraw my snotty comment from earlier. I'm glad to hear that Australia is more humane with their animals than the US.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.